Hey, we're live. What's happening, everybody? Hope you are having a fantastic week and you're getting after it. The energy's real good over here, despite that it's we got our first snowfall here in Wisconsin. We already got like an inch of snow, and it's the first time that it snowed. You getting anything over by you, Ben?
Yeah, we got a little bit. It didn't stick though. So
Yeah, ours. I'm like concerned with how much we're getting and how well it's sticking already. I'm pray for us over here in Wisconsin, everybody. I feel like it's going to be a really bad winter, but I digress. What we're going to be covering here today are the top 25 questions of 2024 and providing clear, concise, and actionable advice to answer these questions for those of you who, whether you're a PT just thinking about getting into Cash P, whether you just started or you're a veteran, these are all the questions from a wide range of categories. And so we're just going to dive right into it here today because I know we got a little bit of a late start. So let's dive right in. Ben, how can you escape your job and launch a cash-based practice without risking your finances?
yeah, so I want to also preface by saying we're going to try and address these in 60 seconds, and these are topics that we could talk about all day. So there's going to be things where it's going to be super high level. So take that into account too. But yeah, how can you escape your job and launch a cash-based practice without risking your finances? It really comes down to keeping your overhead as low as possible. This can be starting out as a mobile PT or renting from a gym. The route that I went was renting from a gym, and the great part about renting from a gym is you don't have to buy equipment. They already have the equipment. You get to use the equipment. Usually you can negotiate a pretty solid rental agreement, so you're not taking on super high overhead. I was able to negotiate, and I encourage other people to do this too, is to pay for the hour that you use the space or pay per client. And that will help it so you only have overhead when you are generating revenue, aka seeing a patient. So that's a great way to keep overhead low and without risking financials.
Yeah, 100%. Mobile practices are another great way to do it, but it means that you're going to have to spend more time advertising, whether that's paid or organic, which increases the cost, aka your finances. So finding a brick and mortar gym that you can work out of that has foot traffic, best way to get a cash practice started quickly without a high amount of financial risk. Ben, what's the fastest way to find cash paying clients and ditch insurance?
Go where your ideal clients are. Everybody's got their own ideal type of clients that they want to work with. For me, it was working with gym goers, people that were having knee pain with squats, low back pain with deadlifts. So I wanted to go where those people were at. They were in gyms. And so I went and marketed directly to CrossFit gyms, traditional gyms, and did workshops for the clients as well as the gym owners and their trainers, and did Con Ed for them, and just essentially got in front of the people that were my ideal clients. And those types of people see the value in what I do. And so that's how I went about finding my cash paying clients and ditching insurance.
I love it. And what's the sweet spot for pricing your services and how do you sell it to clients?
Yeah, so it really comes down to building more value. You can do a couple different things. So you can either bring your prices down to match value, or you can bring your value up to be able to, and then bring your prices up to match that. So it all just comes down to how much value that you can build. We've worked with over 100 different clinics across the U.S. My professional opinion is that nobody should be charging less than 175 across the board. We've seen everybody. It really comes down to mindset, but across the board, everybody, no matter what area they're in, we've had clinics all over the U.S. They can charge $200 or more per session. So I would encourage you to start there. It'll help you grow. It'll give you a good foundation to be able to grow and scale from there, especially if you decide you want to hire.
100%. If you can get to that $200 per visit average range, that means you're going to be sitting at a 40-hour work week. You're seeing 25 visits a week, and you have a strong work-life balance and plenty of time to work on admin stuff. Really great spot to start. Is a physical location really necessary, or can you thrive with the mobile or virtual setup?
It's not necessary. Nothing's really technically necessary, but I would advise to do a physical location. Mobile and virtual is great because you do keep overhead low. But again, if you negotiate and find a solid place to rent from and do negotiations right, you can pretty much achieve the same thing. And your visits, your time is going to be much more efficient. You have to schedule at least a half hour in between each session that you're not getting paid for. And so your hourly rate is drastically lower versus if you are in a brick and mortar, you can see clients back to back, and your schedule efficiency is just much more efficient. And your time is worth more when you're able to do that because of that efficiency that comes with being in brick and mortar.
Yeah, 100%. Unless you're like Dave Kittle and you're charging $400 per mobile visit, which you definitely can if you see it as a high tier ticket premium service, which most people aren't willing to do. They do like $100 mobile visits, and it's like you're never going to have any solid ground to stand on if you're following that framework.
Yeah, it's not a good place to be at. And yeah, you make mobile work if you're charging, $350, $400 plus, but it's difficult if you're not. So, but yeah, transition marketing, client acquisition.
Let's do it.
I want you to tackle these. How do you attract high-paying clients without wasting time on the wrong strategies?
Okay, so all marketing strategies work. Let me preface my response by just saying that, like, organic marketing works, content marketing works, paid advertising works. You have to choose which one you want to be great at. The problem that most people have with marketing and client acquisition is that they're trying to do all of these strategies at once, hoping for a one-hit wonder, looking for a silver bullet, not realizing that there's no such thing as a silver bullet. Every single one of these strategies works. It's up to you to find the one that you enjoy enough and are determined enough to get great at to make that strategy work. It's kind of like, I think it was Jet Li that said this, where he says, I don't fear the man that practiced 10,000 punches. He fears the man that practiced one punch 10,000 times. It is the exact same thing with your marketing. Whichever thing you commit to becoming a master at, you're going to find tremendous success with it. And so stop going on YouTube, just watching new training, stop scrolling reels, looking for new hacks and new strategies, and stop chasing shiny objects. Choose the strategy that you have that matches your resource level, your risk comfort level, and how much time you actually have, and then solely commit to that one strategy until it's built to be profitable and consistent, and it's something that you can actually maintain over a long period of time. It's really no one strategy. It's choosing the one that fits your personality, your time, and your resource kind of matchup.
Yeah, and choose one that's been proven to work before. Don't try and reinvent the wheel. So, and what's this?
Right. Don't start hanging up like yard signs all over your community.
Yeah.
Might piss some people off, and it'd be a fun experiment. I'm not gonna lie. If someone does it, let me know. Reach out to us. Let us know how the yard signs go.
I will be judging. But,
mobile clinicians. That would be a really good idea for mobile clinicians who stop by and sell like packages to people. Like, just the same way like painters, people that do like decks and stuff, that actually for mobile PTs, that might be a really good approach. Let us know if you try it out.
What's the secret to crushing social media without spending your entire day on it?
Structuring your day around it. A lot of people, they struggle with finding consistency and efficiency in their content strategies because they have no structure to their days when they're doing what. And so each day where they get started, they don't have a plan of attack, which leads them to just kind of grasp at straws, which means you're spending a lot more time, energy, and effort doing something that gets minimal returns. If you want your online strategy, we're talking about social media content here, right?
Yep.
If you want this strategy to work, you need to block off times within your week where you can have space and time to do deep work on those things, and then break it up over a series of days. So for me, every Tuesday, I'm scripting content, and I'm using AI tools like our Cash Physical Therapy Blueprint, which I can link beneath this video, that creates a complete profile of our patient avatar so that all my messaging is very tailored to that person. So I don't have to use a lot of energy to do it. I then type up the script that I want to do, and then I refine it again with AI to keep it short, punchy, and concise. And then once I'm done with the script, I'm done for that day. It takes me about an hour. The next day, I'm recording all of that content using an app called Captions that allows me to put those scripts into my phone. Then I can record reading directly off a teleprompter, which allows me to get about 10 videos done in an hour that I scripted the previous day. So that's 2 hours, and I have 10 highly targeted, valuable videos already recorded. And then I get those posted right away using a VA. Again, doesn't take my energy. It costs me $6 an hour for the VA to post it across all my social media platforms. And then every Friday, I have an hour blocked off just for doing research. I'm following Instagram accounts that I really like that have content that gets a lot of comments, which means that they're optimizing for conversations, not just views. And that's what you should be doing, because we don't care about views. We care about booked appointments. And so focus on modeling the people who get a lot of engagement and comments on those threads, because those are actual conversations. And then I save all of those. And then when I start coming up with ideas, I come up with all the videos that I want to create next week. And then the following Tuesday, I script those out. And so in 3 hours, I'm doing my research, I'm doing my scripting, I'm doing my recording, and it's very targeted, focused, deep work that I block off for an hour every morning before I start anything else.
Love it. Love it. And this would be a good one that I know a lot of people have questions on, is organic versus paid marketing. Where should you start to see results fast?
To see results fast, unless you have a relationship with a gym already, which I know many people do, organic marketing takes a while because you have to build authentic relationships, because these potential referral sources, they're getting bombarded with other physical therapists trying to get referrals from them every single day. And so in order to stand out, you need to take a much slower approach by building a genuine, authentic relationship where you're demonstrating value to them and proving that you're in this for the long term and you're focused on giving them value and building up reciprocity. And so organic marketing can take time. It's an incredible strategy that everyone needs to do. But if you're a new PT and you have a job and you're trying to get the side hustle off the ground, you might not have the time to be consistent enough to make organic marketing profitable enough for you to focus on that initially. That's why most clinics come to us to learn Facebook ads. Facebook ads are without a doubt the fastest and easiest way to get sales coming in so that you can start to replace your salary and go all in on your cash practice. We've seen people go from literally zero to doing over 5 figures a month in a single month using paid advertising. And that way they have cash flow coming in. And then as they're doing organic marketing, they can do so from a position of strength, not desperation, making it more likely that these businesses are going to want to work with you because they don't smell that ulterior motive. And you also are able to take your time nurturing those relationships because you don't need cash that bad. So I always recommend starting with paid advertising because it works so well. But if you already have a relationship with a gym, then going in there and just talking to the owner, asking if you can do a tune-up table or do a workshop, that could actually be even faster than Facebook ads if you already have that relationship.
Yeah, you know, on top of the head with not being desperate, because when you have Facebook leads coming in and another source of clients coming in, when you go to build those relationships, it'll be more authentic and you won't be rushing it as much too. So
right. So if you reek of desperation, from the gym owner's perspective, if that's who you're trying to do a workshop with, that's like the smallest, least athletic kid in gym class asking to be the first pick on your dodgeball team. Okay, it's like they want to work with winners. They want people who are winning on their team because then they can cross promote. But if you reek of desperation and you aren't a skilled business owner quite yet, why would they want to work with you?
100%. What's the best, kind of turn more to sales here, what's the best way to tackle objections like it's too expensive or I want to think about it?
It's too expensive or I want to think about it. So if they say it's too expensive, I'd say, well, compared to what? And then I would reframe the conversation around what it is that they truly want to get. Are you looking to just get out of pain like quickly? Because then, yeah, going to an in-network clinic could be a great choice for you. But if you're looking to solve the root cause of this issue, to make sure that this pain never comes back so that you can continue to compete in marathons and strongmans for the next 10, 20 years without injury, then this is going to be the better this is going to be the path that you want to take, because we're not inhibited by insurance that doesn't allow us to treat patients in the way that we know gets the best long-term results. So it really comes down to like, what do you truly want to get out of treatment? I'm curious what you would say, because it's definitely you're better in that department.
No, that's how I would tackle it. My main thing is I want to prevent that from coming. I want to prevent objections. That's what we're all about, is like preventing objections. Like it's not fun having to sit there and like defend yourself and like try and build value if somebody told you no. It's just better to, in my opinion, to build value from the get-go and not even run into objections. So that's
Agreed. Now that you say that, I'm gonna update my response with, before the objection even comes up, as you said, how to combat it is I talk about why they are contacting and looking for support right now, why now is the right time, what it is they're trying to accomplish, and then what it is they've tried already to solve this problem, why that didn't work. So that way, when they do say it's too expensive or why do I need this many visits, you can compare that to like, well, you've already tried this thing and that didn't work. That's why, this is the path you need to take. And when you pitch, like, here's how we help people, asking them, does that sound like this is going to work? And then asking them, when they say yes, which they will, asking them, well, why do you think it's going to work? And then they're going to sell you on all the reasons why it's different than what they've already tried, making it harder for them to say it's like, well, this is too expensive. It's like, well, yeah, because the thing that you've already tried didn't work. This is a different caliber of healthcare, basically.
Right. Yeah. And I like to ask people, like, how'd you hear about us and why do you feel like we're the right fit? And
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, like, yeah, I saw your amazing Google reviews, Yelp reviews, Facebook reviews, whatever. And I'm like, then if you get an objection, one of my favorite things to do, be like, hey, Ms. Smith, you mentioned the reason you picked us is because of our reviews. If we took insurance, we would not have a half of the reviews that we do. The reason we have the reviews and the rating that we do is because we don't take insurance. And that's the reason that we're able to get results for our patients is because we don't take insurance. And a common theme that you'll see on those reviews, maybe you already saw this, is that most of these people had tried in-network clinics and tried multiple PTs before us, and we're the only ones able to solve it. And the reason is because we don't take insurance. So you can also use that when you do get an objection as well.
I love it. The other one is I'll think about it. And I know there's no chance we're going to get through all 25 today because I know you got a hard stop. But the I'll think about it thing is a really good one. I think we should pin down right now because we just had a situation with this and we handled it so well. And I want to share it with all of you. So this person said like, hey, I want to think about it. And then the response was, well, great. Well, how long do you feel like you need to think about it? Then they say some sort of answer. Then again, we circle back to one of the first questions you already asked was like, Mr. Smith, like, how long have you been dealing with this problem again? And how long have you been thinking about getting help with this sort of thing? 6 months, 12 months? Well, if you had just taken action 12 months ago to solve this problem, where do you think you'd be here today? So why don't we, and then they give the answer of like, yeah, I'd probably be doing all these extra things. It's like, great. So why don't we end this cycle of procrastination? We just get started. And that closed them right away. So calling them out on their own self-sabotaging behavior and truly stepping into being a real consultant, being a real expert who's trying to guide people to the right answers and not allowing them to make these self-sabotaging moves that they are kind of in the habit of doing. And so that's how we handled. I'll think about it, and it worked incredibly well.
I love that.
Right? Yeah. We also did never mind. That's not fitting for physical therapy, but there's another really cool way to handle this if you're in like the online space. Okay, let's we got time for one more. Okay, Ben, how do you turn total strangers into loyal paying clients without being pushy? We can spend entire episodes on these questions.
Yeah, it really comes down to motivational interviewing, leveraging motivational interviewing. And when we do our sales, like on our phone calls and in person, none of our staff feels like they're being pushy. All we're doing is simply leveraging effective motivational interviewing and asking questions and listening to them, empathizing, showing them that we care. It really comes just down to asking questions. That's where I think a lot of people struggle with sales. Like, I just don't know what to say. Mm-hmm. That's the problem. Just ask questions. They should be talking 90% of the time anyways. You're sitting there listening and directing the conversation. So it really comes down to leveraging effective motivational interviewing.
I love it. And defending the calendar is the thing I'll add to that. Most people are trying so hard to just smash people into their schedule because they need more visits, not realizing that paradoxically, you're actually pushing people away by doing that. If you force people to explain why they want to get help, why now's the right time, why the things they haven't tried before haven't worked, and then you share a story of why you're so confident that this is actually going to work, then ask permission to explain your process, explain the process, ask them if they feel like this is what they need to do to get where they're trying to go. They say yes, force them to explain why they said yes, and now they are selling themselves to you. And that's ultimately how you get people to sell themselves on working with you versus you trying to push people into the schedule. Because now it's like they just sold themselves to you. Now it's like, great, let's get you scheduled. Get them scheduled, then explain your rates, how it works, set expectations for your packages, all that good stuff. But that is all we have time for today. We got through 9 of 25, 100% my fault, everybody. We got started 15 minutes late because of getting all the tech set up initially. Took a little bit longer. Ran into some issues. So I apologize. But if you want us to come back and finish our list of 25 top questions, put in the comments Q&A, and we'll do this again next week to come back and answer I have a feeling this is going to be really valuable for all of you. So everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. If you're watching this live on YouTube or in our Facebook community, Cash Physical Therapy Headquarters, comment live. If you're catching replay, comment replay. Don't forget to go and check out the Cash Physical Therapy Headquarters podcast on Spotify or Apple Podcast. And if you have any requests on other questions or podcasts you'd like Ben and I to cover, just drop them in there. We'd be more than happy to circle back, answer your questions, and dedicate whole episodes to topics that you feel are worthy. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you next time.